Mental fortitude is a form of emotional mastery. In business, there are many times when you need to be mentally acute to make tough decisions. In leadership, there are times when you need to be mentally tough to navigate through complex information. In life, there are times when you need to be mentally sharp to make good decisions fast. In those times, you need to be mentally strong. That means having control and confidence, commitment, and the ability to face a good challenge. The good news is, like any physical strength, mental strength doesn't just happen. It has to be developed. Let's quickly address the 4 C's of mental toughness. The first one is control. This is the extent to which you feel you're in control of your life, including emotions, a sense of life and purpose. The control component can be considered your self-esteem. If you're big on control, it simply means you feel comfortable in your own skin and have a good sense of who you are. You're able to control your emotions and less likely to be distracted by the emotions of others. Number 2 is commitment. Now, this is the extent of your personal focus and reliability. To score high on the commitment scale means being able to effectively focus and achieve things without getting distracted. People who are high on the commitment scale are good at getting into routines and habits that lead them towards success. On the other hand, if you have commitment issues, you find it difficult to set and prioritize goals or adopt routines or habits indicative of success. They are easily distracted by other people or competing priorities. Number 3 is challenge. People in this category like a good challenge. Challenge is the extent to which you're driven and adaptable. You see challenges, change, and adversity as opportunities rather than threats. You're flexible and agile. People on the opposite end of the spectrum will rather avoid challenging situations out of fear of failure. And the last C of mental toughness is confidence. This is the extent to which you believe in your ability to be productive and capable. It's your self-belief in the belief that you can influence others. When you're low on confidence, you're easily unsettled by setbacks and don't believe that you're capable of having any influence on anybody. So now that you know, let's jump into the major things that you're going to have to do this year if you're going to be able to develop mental toughness. Number 1 on my list is see the past as valuable training and nothing more. So don't spend a lot of time dwelling on the past. Instead, the only time you must look back is just to see how far you've come. Instead of holding on to the past, disappointment, failure, heartbreak, a good thing to do would be to instead write down what you've learned, your current objectives, and how to avoid those pitfalls in the future. This usually works much better than wallowing. It's a great resilience tactic as well. Remember, tough people succeed not only because they have less problems, they succeed because they're able to push forward despite their circumstances. Number 2, replace negative thoughts with positive, more realistic thoughts. So manage the floodgates of negative thinking to stop negative thoughts from taking over your life. It can be hard to avoid noticing how everyone around you is flourishing, but you're going to have to learn to manage that little voice in your head that just keeps nagging at you. To do this, you're going to have to learn to quiet that negative inner voice, the voice that is the first to always tell you that you cannot do it. A lot of negativity that we feel is born out of fear, lack of knowledge, or skill. Negative thoughts will fester and stop you from going for promotions, jobs, friendships, relationships, adventures, and opportunities. If you don't take control, it will stunt your inner growth. I say surround yourself with positive thoughts instead. Stop, breathe, identify areas in your life that need changing. Surround yourself with positive people. Practice positive self-talk, acquire new skills, set goals, challenge yourself to try new things. Number 3, accept that change is part of living and part of life. Change can cause a mixture of different emotions. It can be frustrating, exciting, confusing, intriguing, and sometimes even scary. There's a reason people tend to dislike change. The human brain likes what it knows. Adapting to change takes time, effort, and energy. The uncertainty that accompanies change is often uncomfortable for people and can throw off a person's sense of normalcy. As a result, many people would rather prefer to avoid change and remain in their comfort zone. What they fail to realize is real growth lies outside your comfort zone. When you're faced with change, there are a few things you need to do. Number 1, recognize that change is inevitable. Number 2, give yourself the space to experience and allow the discomfort that comes with change. Number 3, understand that your response to change will impact the outcome. And number 4, ask yourself, what information am I taking away from this experience and how can I use it moving forward? Now, when I first quit my job, I was terrified because I didn't know what to expect, right? Even though I had carefully thought through my decision, I felt the full effects of treading into the unknown. If I followed my instinct to remain in my comfort zone, I wouldn't be where I am today talking to you. I have a video where I talked about why and how I quit my 9-to-5 job. If you're interested in checking it out for some inspiration, I'll leave a link to that video in the description below. Number 4, challenge yourself. So Albert Einstein once said, one should not pursue goals that are easily achieved. One must develop an instinct for what one can just barely achieve through one's greatest efforts. And I agree. Underestimating yourself and playing it safe holds you back from success. When you believe in yourself and your abilities, you can often go beyond the imaginable. Why do successful people enjoy a challenge? Well, challenges help you to discover new skills, jump into new experiences, and boost your well-being. If you're feeling stuck in life, embracing new challenges gives you a chance to grow. New challenges can give you the confidence boost you need and encourage you to push further with personal growth. Challenge yourself today by taking a class to learn something new, taking up that leadership role at work, networking, setting up a fitness goal, prioritizing your mental health. That's the way to go about it. Number 5, don't need, want. Now, we all want to be liked. We all want approval. The real problem arises, though, when we start needing these things, when we can't function without it. Mentally strong people want everything everyone else on the planet wants. The only difference is that they don't need it. Think about it. All the things you actually need in life have been given to you for free. The air that you breathe is one of them. Imagine if air was for sale. Many people around the world would probably be dead by now, simply because they wouldn't be able to afford it. The things in life we need, we already have. 99% of the rest of the things are purely wants. Mentally strong people are not affected by the circumstances. They know that they have the power to change things. They know that if certain things do not come their way, then perhaps it was never for them to start with. They aren't consumed in acquiring all the worldly things come hell or high water. And if there's something they really want, they find a way to work towards it. Number 6, be kind and compassionate. By being kinder to yourself and others, you reduce the number of negative emotions in your life. By reducing negative emotions, it opens up a space for positive emotions to flourish. Kind and compassionate people are attractive people. Acts of kindness can make the world a happier place for everyone. They also encourage others to repeat the good deeds they've experienced themselves, contributing to a more positive community. By being kinder to yourself and others, you reduce the number of negative emotions in your life. By reducing negative emotions, it opens up a space for positive emotions to flourish. Which brings me to the sponsor of today's video, BeKind.shop. With that special occasion around the corner, make sure you visit BeKind.shop today. They have the very kind of jewelry and accessories that everyone would love to own. Be kind to someone today. Be Kind Shop was actually created with the mission to help protect bee colonies around the world. With every purchase you make on their website, you support development of bee colonies and provide them with the best possible conditions. Visit the Be Kind Shop's website right now and enter the 20% discount code JessicaOS20. Thank you to Be Kind Shop for sponsoring today's video. And finally, make connections. So there's no denying the power of strong professional networks. When it's done well, networking will give you a competitive edge throughout every facet of your life. Don't be afraid to make connections or to network. Networking is simply about establishing, building, nurturing long-term, mutually beneficial relationships with the people that you meet. Experts agree that the most connected people are often the most successful. When you invest in your relationships, it can pay you back throughout the course of your life. To make connections, simply look for opportunities strategically in every facet of your life. Start where you're motivated to meet new people with common professional and personal interests. The gym, the church, the grocery store, the restaurant, these are all great places to start making connections. It's never too late or too early to invest in your connections and networks. The best way to improve your networking skill is to put yourself out there and give it a try. Let's start doing things to make ourselves mentally stronger this year, wouldn't you say? I'm taking up the challenge. challenge. Are you? If you are, leave the words, "I accept the challenge," in my comments below. And let's circle back to this video at the end of the year and see how far we've all come. Share this video with someone else who needs to be inspired. My name is Jessica. Thank you so much for watching. Be kind, everyone.